So, Organized Time magazine, and this is an example of what I was talking about. When I was writing a note to myself. So I said from issues January 24th to April 25th we're being bound, and after that date is where I'll start. So let's see, I have March, April 25th. So I can start from May 9th, since everything else is, oh wait, May 2nd. May 2nd, May 9th, May 16th. Let's see, we have 2 nights, take out 3 May nights, right? May 14th, 16th. Yeah, this is a weekly, but sometimes you get special issues and stuff. So we got like May 14th, May 16th, May 20th. I think it's 3 issues in 1 week. So May 20th, May 23rd. So this can go out, but we'll make it wait, because you can find at least twice as much more. So in the meantime, we can put this all back on the shelf in order. And if you want, you can rubber band these and put duplicate. Duplicates. Let's see. And all these can be thrown out since they were part of the old binding. Okay. Let me put this back. This can stay here. Let's give you an example of how to write up a binding slip. Okay. Once you finally have your set that you want to bind, for example, this is a complete set. These are quarterlies of a certain novel, studies in a novel, and they're seasonal, but they're quarterlies. And this is number 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So when you've got these, you'll find the slip in the book, in the box. And right here we have slips for Cohen. For the most part, all these are Cohen. We have 4 account numbers: 0431702. This is Cohen. We have Architecture over here, which is 0431705. And we have Music, which is 0431707. The last account number is 0431701, which is Science. But Science has its own box and everything in the Science library. So what we generally do is try to find the slip for a book, or for a book that's already been bound. Usually it's going to be here, and we find them by alphabetical order. So this was Studies in a Novel. I already pulled it out, Studies in a Novel. And how this works is you're generally looking for the account number, a title number, the style, and filling in the slots, spine lettering, cover color, and print color. And those are the only slots you really have to worry about. The account number, that's what which library it belongs to. Cohen, Science, Architecture, or Music. Title number is a title number specific to that title within the library. You might have the same number for 2 different libraries. That's why it's important to have an account number and a title number. That's why you know which library it belongs to. It'll go in this slot. Style could be periodical or a book. Periodical can also be shorthand if you write XL. But if you have a pre-printed binding slip, then they're going to have periodical. Sometimes it's a little bit off balance here. And you can cross it out and write it over here in the slots, but it's pretty visible, so you don't have to worry about that. But the cover color, stuff like this, I would write over, because you never know if they might misconstrue it. So I would cross this out and put 860 here. And W means white for print color. That's always, print color is always going to be W for white. And another constant is you're always going to have 2 CCNY on the bottom. And how this breaks down, oh, by the way, these are the different colors. So you put 860, it's going to come back as brown. And this gives you like a, kind of like a carpet sample. You get to pick out colors. If something's already been bound, it's going to be in the book. I'll show you what the book says, and it already has a predetermined color. You just write the number down, but if you want to see what the color is, then you can pick. Or if you're going to bind a separate book, then you want to pick a color, then you know which number to put. So what all these slot numbers mean is like 18. It just depends on the height of the book, and this book is probably like less than 10.5 inches tall, and the slot number is just basically a starting point for where the bindery is going to insert like different words for the titles. So studies in the novel, usually you're going to have one word for one line, the next line is going to be the next word, and then the next. So if it starts with it's going to be 18, 17, 16, ultimately the book will come back looking like this, saying like this was line 18, it would be 17, 16. So it just gives like a little order for where the placing of the words are going to be when the book is being bound. And then usually skip down. Volume is usually always line 10, so it gives like a little space. You can imagine like volume was like over here, so it'll be in the middle, and then have the year under it. Sometimes the bindery or the way we write slips is different for certain books. Sometimes you're asking for the month, sometimes you want the season. I'll show you some examples, and this is how we fill it out. If everything's correct, then all we have to do is put in whatever the information is asking of us. Sometimes when you get the slips for a pre-printed bindery, everything could come out wrong. So something never starts out with 1, so that's always an error. And you're never going to have like the title all squished together like this. It's usually going to be broken down. And before I fill this out, let me show you. If you get a mistake like this, you have to double check in the book. And this is the book that we use for binding, and it consists of the Corwin Libraries account, the Architectures account, and the Music Libraries account. And you go in by alphabetical order. So say for example this one is American School Board Journal. So we go looking for American School Board. Yeah, American School Board Journal. And how these are arranged, you get the title number, which is under ID. So the title number will go over here, 97, see what matches. You'll have the material, which is the cover color, so it's going to be 860, which is here. Foil is print color, which is W, white. So these are like your important information. So a title number here, material is cover color, foil is the print color. And to get the correct breakdown for where the lining of the words go, this says that it should start at line 21. It's because it's a fairly large magazine. So line 21 will start with American. So you want to cross all this out. When you have a slash like this, that means to go to the next line. So this one will be American, line 21. Slash means to go to line 20, and you put school. Next slash, line 19 will be board. And next slash, line 18 will be journal. Yeah, so you want to cross this stuff out. You see it asks for volume, month, and year, but it's not going to be line 1 again, or slot 1. So in the book it says that it just wants a volume and year. So volume starts on line 10 most likely, and then you just find whatever the volume is. 9 would be whatever the year is, like 2011, and the bottom line is going to be 2 CCNY. Always going to be 2 CCNY, because you just want, it's City College property and you want to have its own stamp, so it's going to come out looking like this. If you put 2 CCNY, it's going to come on the bottom, and it gives a little space so it's not totally right at the bottom. So 2 gives a little bit of indent, and then you have CCNY. So going back to studies in the novel, you find the information I was looking for. It says looking for volume, and luckily you have the volume on the outside. Sometimes you're going to have to look inside, and you would either find it within the copyright information, like down here it says 2010, you get the year at least. In here you find information if it's quarterly or not. That's where you can tell how many times it's printed and what to look for when you're going to put them in order and try to bind a certain set. Here inside the table of contents you usually find the volume 2. So it says volume 42, spring, summer, number 1, 2. If it asks for months, you get the month here. If it asks for numbers, you got the numbers there. But it's only asking for the volume, so it's just volume 42. So you're going to put a 42. And year is 2010. See, nice and simple. When they give you a pre-printed slip, all you have to do is put in the constantly changing information, which is usually volume, month, year, stuff like that. Usually 1, 2, 3. So when you're done, you just rip the preparations. You have what's called a bindery copy. Oops, I did too. Right. Just put this away. You have what you call a bindery copy and a library copy. The bindery copy, you're always going to put on the inside of the top book. Always right on the inside. Never like 2, 3 pages in or something like that. You don't want the person in the bindery is not going to go looking for the slip. You're always going to look from right inside. If it's not there, then oh well. They're just going to send it back incomplete. So you put the bindery copy there. You put the library copy in front for now. And we'll move that later when we put the books in for the books to sort them out for binding. So right now you have a complete set. And in rare instances you're going to have books that always have a complete set. For example, this one is bound 6 times a year. And you have January, February, March. Well, that's what's monthly. January, February, March, April, June, July. So May is missing. And usually you put a claim in with the serials cataloger. And in this case is Rita over in the catalog section. So you let her know. If whoever's doing the binding, if something's missing, you have to verify first in CUNY Plus if we received the copy. And if not, or if you're not sure, you can go over to Rita or whoever's doing serials and ask them to help you search to make sure we did have the copy. And if we don't, or if CUNY Plus says that we do have the copy, we just ask Rita to try to claim it if we can. And claiming is another process. It takes usually a little couple of months. Maybe you'll get another back issue. You get another copy of the said issue. But in the meanwhile, you can bind this without that copy if you want. And we can. And usually you just do it the same way. When you write it up, the only thing you're going to put on the side is bind without whatever missing issue was. This case would be May 2010. And what this does is when it comes back from the bindery, you'll know, because in the library copy is also there. When all this comes back bound to look like this, what's going to happen is when you find a slip, you're going to know that this one is missing an issue. And you're going to write a little note in it for yourself. Or actually you write a note for the student or whoever's looking for this periodical. And they're going to know that issue May 2010 was bound without. So that's just a little disclaimer, because it's going to come back. For example, this is going to come back saying January through July 2010, but May is missing. So just to, just give a little heads up, a little note inside is going to say May 2010 is missing. And that is about that. You have errors, bound withouts, and complete volumes ready to go out.